Well, hey there, social media sweeties. You are here because that infographic is so confusing. I am hoping that in the next few minutes I can give you an overview that helps you get started so you can be just a little bit less confused. Okay, so let's start with 2.02 because in case you didn't notice, the infographic is divided into 3 parts. You're creating one digital poster, if you will, okay? But you turn it in 3 times. You do a little bit in 2.02, you turn it in. You do a little bit more in 3.02, you turn it in. You do some more in 4.03, you turn it in and you're done, okay? So 2.02, the first challenge is usually, I can't find the form. I know. Let's start with that. Did you find the form? Okay, if you go straight to 2.02, you won't, okay? Maybe because you weren't reading the lessons. Oh, you are so busted. It's in 1.05. The infographic actually begins in 1.05, but you don't turn it in 1.05. So back it up to 1.05, okay? Thank you. You also need to do the survey in 1.05. I'm calling it a survey because quiz just doesn't seem to be the right word. To me, quiz is like, there's a grade for it, and there isn't a grade attached to it. So let's call it a survey. You're going to need to use social media to complete 2.02. We recommend that you use Edmodo. This is not because, Edmodo is school social media and it's super clean. Even though that helps, we've just found in our experience that we have a lot of students who come back to us and say, when I post my assignment on Facebook or Twitter, nobody takes me seriously. So it's actually easier for you. If you have not yet received the Edmodo join code or you don't have an Edmodo account, let me or your social media teacher know and we'll help you out, okay? Now, if you're having any problems like you can't download the infographic, you're having trouble typing on it, I'm going to recommend common sense. And I don't mean that in any kind of insulting way. With me, common sense always saves the day. I don't care if you have the pretty infographic form. I care about the content of what you're saying. Make your own in Word or PowerPoint and move on. Don't let downloading a form hold you up from getting your work done. It's not worth your time. Get your work done. Use Word or PowerPoint, okay? Awesome. How are we doing so far? Okay. See, you feel better already. I'm so happy. Now, when you do 3.02, you're shifting gears. 2.02 is about you. I know, it's all about you. It's how you perceive yourself on social media and how others perceive you, and the differences in how you might perceive yourself and how others perceive you. But now we are shifting gears. It's not all about you anymore. Oh, it's so difficult. Okay, now we need to start thinking about how you can use social media to help your community. You may define the community as the community outside your door, your neighborhood, your town. You can also define it as your school community if you'd like to think about how to improve your school. Here's some images just to get you thinking about what that means. Environmental issues, that's helping the community. Awareness of illnesses, diseases that affect people. Helping groups of people, like children, like the elderly, play video games. Just kidding, I just really liked this picture. It made me happy. If your idea involves only helping yourself, you're going to have trouble being successful. You can think about things that you like basketball, like video games, like fashion. But then you need to say, how can I take this thing that I love and use it to help other people, okay? Head versus heart, the section of 3.02, head versus heart, is sometimes challenging for students. I do have a separate video on the announcements page that will give a more in-depth explanation of head versus heart. But in short, what head versus heart is about is when you're trying to persuade somebody, you want to appeal to their logic and to their emotions, because people can be persuaded in different ways. Let's talk about recycling for a second. If I want to persuade you of the importance of recycling, I might use logic. I might appeal to your head and say, hey, the reason that we need to recycle is, and I might use statistics that I look up about landfills, about garbage, about the floating garbage island in the Pacific Ocean. Facts. But emotion. Hey, how do you feel when you drive down the road and you see landfills and you smell garbage or you see litter on the side of the road? How do you feel when you think about the planet that you want your children and your grandchildren to inherit? So it's two methods of convincing people, head and heart. And again, there is a separate video on the announcements page with more detail. My intention here is just to give you a quick overview. Once you've made it this far, shoot, the hard stuff's behind you now. 4.03, let's wrap it up. What is your plan? Okay, how are you going to enact your plan to make this change? Please remember to include social media in your plan. This is a social media class. I get some really amazing plans that do not include social media at all. That is not okay. And when you turn in 4.03, the grading rubric that we use gives points for you having turned in a completed infographic. So please save as you go along and keep adding to the same document. So when you turn in 4.03, you're turning in a document that includes 2.02, 3.02, and 4.03. So it's like, ta-da, this is the whole thing. This is just a brief overview, okay? So you can feel a little more confident moving forward. Get started. That's the best way to get something done. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to submit, because you shouldn't be afraid to resubmit. Throw something at me. So it's not perfect the first time. Get some feedback, and then you can give it another go, okay? I'm here for you. Ask those questions. Now get out there and use social media to make the world a better place. Bye, guys.